Hey everyone, Jack from英作文会話 community here again. And today I want to talk about a very common grammar mistake I hear when Japanese speakers of English use the words recommend and suggest. Alright, so for today's video, I want to get started with a question. How would you say the following sentence in English? あそこのイタリアンレストランに行くのをおすすめします。So, how did you translate that sentence? I'm guessing a lot of people said something like, I recommend you to go to that Italian restaurant. But actually, this is incorrect. I often hear Japanese speakers of English say, I recommend you to. But this grammar is incorrect. So today, I want to introduce two correct ways that you can use the word recommend, and also how you can use the same grammar for suggest. The first way to correctly use recommend is the pattern, I recommend that. So in my previous question, using this grammar, the translation would be, I recommend that you go to that Italian restaurant. The second way you can use recommend is the pattern, I recommend ing. So in my previous question, the answer would be, I recommend going to that Italian restaurant. Both of these two ways of using recommend sound the same. There's no real difference, so you can use whichever one you like. Personally, I tend to use I recommend that more. Today I want to give you a little bonus tip on one situation you should be careful of when using recommend. And that is when someone asks you the question, what is your recommendation? Recommendation is a noun form of recommend. So how should you respond to this question? It's very strange to respond to that question with recommend. Instead, you should use the word recommendation in your response. But how can you do that? Actually, it's very similar to the grammar we just studied. So in this situation, your answer should be, my recommendation is that you go to that Italian restaurant. Now let's look at a couple more examples using each of these grammar points. Number 1. I recommend that you get the yakisoba. I recommend getting the yakisoba. My recommendation is that you get the yakisoba. Number 2. I recommend that you go to the hotel by bus. I recommend going to the hotel by bus. My recommendation is that you go to the hotel by bus. I recommend that you visit Kyoto while you're in Japan. I recommend visiting Kyoto while you're in Japan. My recommendation is that you visit Kyoto while in Japan. Okay, now let's talk about suggest. Actually, the grammar for suggest is exactly the same as what I just introduced to you regarding recommend. So the sentence, I suggest you to go to that Italian restaurant, just like recommend, is incorrect. Instead, you should say either, I suggest that you go to that Italian restaurant, or I suggest going to that Italian restaurant. Similar to the word recommendation, we can also say suggestion for the word suggest. So if we want to use that word, we could say, my suggestion is that you go to that Italian restaurant. Alright, and that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped and you want to practice your English more, please click the link below and sign up for a lesson with me at英作文会話 community. You can take a lesson with me on any day of the week at any time, even before work, so please check it out. Please don't forget to also like and comment on the video and subscribe if you haven't. That's gonna do it for me. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!